Callum Jolly, and I head up strategic supplier and commercial management, an organisation called Smart DCC. DCC are responsible for building, running, maintaining the kind of energy smart meter, so the infrastructure within the UK.
So your kind of procurement operation, we're obviously here at Ivalua, you're one of their customers. I think you brought them in 2023 looking to kind of digitise your source to requisition process. So tell me a little bit more about what it looked like before Ivalua got in and what were you looking for them to try and fix for you guys?
Pre-Ivalua, we were kind of running procurement from spreadsheets and emails. So the baseline was pretty low. And I think for an organisation, so we spend the best part of £600 million a year, and we run an outsourced model. So that is predominantly with external suppliers. Heavily regulated as well. So as you can imagine, really difficult to try and run a functioning procurement team on spreadsheets and emails and be able to kind of demonstrate to the regulator that that we are governing that in a controlled manner, that we are documenting our decision making well, we're capturing that, and we're able to kind of provide an auditable trail of results. So really difficult, and we were kind of running around as a compliance team trying to ensure that we could demonstrate that. And then the other element was we had some really big procurements on the horizon that we kind of conscious that, again, that's really difficult to do those well when you don't have a tool of any description. We landed on Ivalua to really kind of give us that single source of the truth, to provide some sort of tool or platform for us to be able to run that sourcing activity, but then be able to capture decisions, look at workflows, govern it properly, and make sure that we had a kind of auditable trail of activity, as well as just streamlining that procurement process kind of end to end.
So you brought Ivalua in the goal to kind of have a stronger governance, more assurance and visibility across your supply chain. Now that you've had Ivalua in for a couple of years now, what would you say is the most tangible benefit to having Ivalua?
So I think there's two, for my team personally, who, as I say, they facilitate that kind of that audit piece, carry out a lot of the assurance and risk management activity. The time saved just being able to self-serve that information, be it to internal audit, external audit, whoever we're kind of providing that information to, has saved kind of countless hours. So rather than having to look across disparate systems and ask individuals when they're not able to find it, we have those workflows, we have the single source of the truth that we can dip into and provide that. So a lot of the time now, our kind of core procurement teams don't even see that work happens. It just kind of goes through a happy path, and we can kind of manage that for them, which they're delighted about.
Finally, obviously you've underwent this transformation with Ivalua. Kind of, if we were to stand here in a year's time and talk again, is there anything within your procurement process that you're aiming towards, any goals or targets you've got set?
So we're looking to try and go further in terms of that full source to pay journey. So we kind of spoke at the start that we'd aim to go source to requisition, where we're kind of at source to pay today. So there's definitely a view to trying to look upstream and downstream of how can we kind of broaden that single source of the truth, and if we can't, can we integrate into other tools? So we still, like I said, we're in a much better place than we were in 2023, but we do still have kind of isolated systems here and there, and the more joined up we can get with that, the utopia is one single source to pay platform. But at the very least, integrate it with the kind of planning element up front and some of the payment bits downstream, then we'll be in a far better place.